YouTube fandom community, Ringo Starr fans, random people on the internet, my name is Giggens, and we're here today to talk about Ringo's second album from 1970 and his second album of 1970, Beaucoups of Blues. This thing was released September 25th, 1970, following Sentimental Journey earlier in that year. Sentimental Journey was an album of old standards, and basically he made that for his mom. And it sounds fun to listen to, it's cool to hear Ringo do the old school thing. But hearing Ringo do the country style, his voice fits so naturally and so perfect in this genre. And he had done that throughout the Beatles' career. Once in a while they do Act Naturally, or even What Goes On is slightly country-ish with him singing lead on that one. But he's always sort of fit into that mold. And as he was recording All Things Must Pass with George, Peter Drake was flown over by George to play pedal steel guitar in the album. And Ringo had to go pick him up from the airport. And as they picked him up from the airport, Peter Drake was looking around the inside of the car, and it's all his country cassettes. And he started talking about country music. And Peter just learned all about how much Ringo loved it. And they got talking about, like, well, what if we collaborated on something? And at that time, Peter was like, all right, well, let's do something. Like, I'll get my guys together. We'll come up with an album's worth of material for you to do. And Ringo was kind of like, look, I just want to do something quick. I don't want to do a long, dragged out thing. Because the Beatles, when they made an album at that point, it took months to make a Beatles album at that point. He was like, look, if you can make it quick, I'll do it. And so Peter Drake was like, sure, no problem. So for 3 days in June, Ringo flew out to Nashville, Tennessee, and spent 3 days doing his vocals for this record. And it's the most relaxed I've ever heard him. He is so in control and comfortable. You can tell he's having a great time and just loving being there, even though the cover looks like he doesn't really care to be there. But you can tell he's really digging it. It was made for him. It didn't chart in the UK, surprisingly enough, but it did do well in America. Number 35 on the country charts, number 65 on the top LP charts. Not terrible. The lead single, Beaucoups of Blues, was the title track, of course, but that came out as a single in October with a B-side of Coochie Coochie, not on the album. And there's another song called Nashville Jam or Nashville Freakout that was also included on the 1995 CD reissue when this thing got released on CD in the 90s. But Scotty Moore engineered it. Scotty Moore from Elvis's backup band. The Jordanaires sing background on this thing. Every song was written exclusively for Ringo. And there was a working title called Ringo in Nashville. And apparently at one point, some acetates were sold with a different running order in the early 90s with the Ringo in Nashville name, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I really dig this album. It's a nice, comfy listen. Is it going to blow your mind? No, but it's not supposed to. It's just a nice album. It opens up with Beaucoups of Blues, a polite, gentle bop. Ringo's range here is actually pretty wonderful. He has some really sweet moments. He has moments where his vocals can go kind of deep, but he also takes his time and he's patient the whole way. You can just tell he's involved in the song. He is really feeling what's going on with the story. He takes his time. He's comfortable. He fits right in. It's a nice, comfy track. After that, you got Love Don't Last Long. Lyrically, this can make Joy Division blush. I mean, this is one of the darkest songs ever. It's just a really sad, damn song. But I do like the harmonica that's dripping all over this thing. The Jordanaires are fantastic on it. That fiddle becomes a violin during the middle break, which is kind of cool. It's a sad song, but it's played really well. Fastest Growing Heartache in the West. I mean, love the cheery, upbeat fiddles on this one. Again, Ringo just flows so effortlessly and seamlessly into this country genre. He was made to be a country star. Great little song, fun storytelling. Ringo really soars on the chorus. It's one of those songs where, actually one of those albums, really, where you wish he would have done more. There's rumors that there was a second volume planned for this that announced sometime in late 1970 or early 71 that another country album would come out from Ringo. Obviously never happened, but he's dabbled here and there over the years as well. But I think if he put out a country album now, it would do really well for itself. Country is one of the biggest selling music genres around, has been for a while. It would be an awesome thing to hear him do a country album again, even though he's not doing albums anymore. A country EP would be perfect. Without Her is one of my favorite songs on the album. I love the blend of the background vocals with Ringo. Ringo does these slow, deep vocal bits here and there that sound really, really cool. Again, just really careful, really patient, taking his time. The guitar picking leading up to the chorus is fantastic. And this could have been a great choice for a single. Beaucoups of Blues was the only single from this album, but this would have been a great choice as well. So if you're going to check a couple of songs from this album, make sure Without Her is one of them. Woman of the Night, pretty joyous chorus. Ringo lets loose more vocally. The lead harmonica is a lot of fun. Just kind of your nice country fare. And then the last song on side one, I'd Be Talking All the Time. A little bit of a humorous song with this one. Just how, the good times aren't really there. Not much to say about that. But the hard times, he won't shut up about it. Country pop. Nice little song. Side 2 starts up with $15 draw, and this one's really cool. Rock and guitars, total country rock. A song about hoping you'll make it. You get your guitar when you're a kid, and you have these big dreams of getting out there, and it's basically Johnny B. Good. And he cranks along well, I love the vocal riffing at the end where he's just having fun. That's really cool. Wine, Women, and Loud, Happy Songs. This one has some excellent fiddle and pedal steel in this one. Again, Ringo's confident with his storytelling. Catchy, big, bright chorus. Sounds like something you sing along to in a bar. I Wouldn't Have You Any Other Way is a duet with Jeannie Kendall. They work really well together. Her voice is super sweet and really articulate, and he just blends so well with his kind of, I don't know what you call Ringo's voice. How would you describe Ringo's voice? It's very Ringo. Okay, that's it. It sounds a little old-timey. It almost sounds like it would have been on Sentimental Journey. So, get a little bit of flavor of that previous album there. But I dig it. It's one of my favorites on the album, actually. Loser's Lounge, upbeat, awesome steel solo, cheery and bouncy. It just works. By the time you get to the end of the album, it's definitely got like not so much of a samey feel, but you sort of know what to expect at this point. Waiting, Ringo does a great vocal with this one. It's sincere, and you hang on to every word that he sings. He really studied the country greats. He knew his stuff, and going into these songs, he knew kind of what to accomplish with his voice, and he knew what he wanted to accomplish with telling these songs and these stories. So that one works really well. And the last one, Silent Homecoming, there's tambourine on this one. Ooh, tom-tom drums. Things are getting a little crazy here. Kind of a light country rock song. Definitely an interesting topic. It's it's about a guy being off to war and coming back and wonder if his girl will recognize him, and it kind of sticks out from the rest of the album, where the rest of the album is like, hey, this song's about me, I miss my girl, blah blah blah. This one's about the war, so it's a little bit of a what's that? But it works. Back cover is a shot of all the people that played in this. Oh, almost all the people that played in this album. Jeannie wasn't on this, and Jerry Reed wasn't on this as well, but there's Ringo in the middle. This is when he cut all his Beatle hair off. He looks like 1964 Ringo hair. I love this inner jacket here. Great shots. Ringo with a guitar, hanging out with puppies in the studio, walking around, looking cool. I mean, he just looks awesome at this point in time. And the lyrics, of course, on this side. Nice heavy jacket. I love these old jackets. And of course, on the classic Apple label. I mean, does it get cooler than that? That Apple label is so... And then you get the split on the back. I mean, come on, man. One of the coolest labels out there. So that's it. I mean, Ringo's Beaucoups of Blues. It's an album I've wanted to talk about forever. Here we are finally doing it. It's 1970 was a fascinating year for the Beatles in terms of their story and in terms of fans getting content, getting records. Paul McCartney put his out, John put his out, and the Instant Karma single. George put out All Things Must Pass. You got 2 albums from Ringo. You got Let It Be. You got Hey Jude. I mean, a lot came out in 1970, so you were spending a lot of money as a Beatles fan that year, but you got some great stuff. Imagine making a mixtape at the end of that year, putting together a reel-to-reel or a cassette of some of your favorite songs from these albums. It would have been a really fun thing at the end of 1970 to put together a make-believe Beatles album, just to see what could have been done. As far as songs I would have picked from this album to join that imaginary Beatles record, Beaucoups of Blues would have been a great one. $15 Draw or Without Her would have been my choices for songs to put on there for a Ringo song. But yeah, I dig this album. It's not meant to blow your mind. It's just a nice thing to put on in the background and enjoy. For me, 7 out of 10. By the time it's over, you kind of get the point. Like, there needs to be a couple of more moments that get shaken up just a little bit. I understand the point of this album was to make a nice country album. And that's exactly what they accomplished. But by the end of the album, I'm kind of like, all right, I get it. Like, we get it. I kind of look like that when I'm done. It's like, all right, we're almost there. Yeah, 7 out of 10. I really, really enjoy it. There's nothing negative to say about it beyond that. Like, I wish a couple of the songs would change the tempo just a little bit. But there you go. Curious to hear your thoughts on this thing. Ringo's Beaucoups of Blues. My name is Giggens. This has been Ringo, Beaucoups of Blues. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care of yourselves.